Hello, hello. Can everybody hear us? Can everybody hear us? What have I said over here? Can everybody hear us? Hello, welcome. Yeah, wow, we've got loads of people here today. 144 already. Hi everyone, welcome to the Top Drives Update 20.0 preview live stream. My name is Caleb. I'm the community coordinator here on Top Drives, and today I am joined by two of my very good associates. I don't mind, whoever.
Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us on this 20.0 live stream. My name is Ben Hodges and I am the car manager on Top Drives.
Hiya, I'm Will Beaumont. I am one of the, I think I'm classed as one of the car experts on Top Drives. I think that might be one of my title. I promise not to disappoint. Yeah.
Cool. So yes, thank you for joining me, guys. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah. So today, break from our usual Q&A, monthly Q&A live streams. We've got an update preview for you. We've got a very big Top Drives update incoming. There is actually, I think this might be, since I've started doing these update live streams, probably the biggest one we've done for an update yet. I've got like 37 slides or something ridiculous.
What?
I know. Which is, there's a lot to talk about. There's going to be new cars, which you will see shortly. Depending on how much you want them. I don't know if people even want them that much. Maybe we shouldn't share the new cars.
Maybe keep them to ourselves.
Yeah, keep them to ourselves, just not even talk about it. But yeah, there's new features, there's bug fixes, there's all sorts of stuff. So I reckon we should jump into it.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right, so here we go. In fact, that's a reveal off the bat. I don't think we've shown that key art anywhere yet. So there's a little car for you there that's in the game.
It's a very fast car. Brabham BT62.
Yeah.
Very cool car.
So off the bat, there you go. This update is called The Wayfinders, or at least that's going to be the name of the season takeover. But I think we did release a teaser over the weekend. I imagine from that people have kind of guessed what the car update is going to be themed around. But we will get onto that, I suppose.
I think all those teasers came out Thursday, was it? Thursday, Friday?
It might have been. It might have even gone over the. It might have been Thursday actually. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them on the internet over the weekend.
Yeah. So people have seen it. Oh, you have seen the Brabham. Okay. All right, but
Maybe
I promise you there'll be new stuff.
Yeah, maybe it's the first time seeing the actual artwork. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you guys add walking? There's a lot of stuff in this update. I don't think that's part of it, but we'll consider it. Okay. Well, let's jump into the first couple of things we got here. We're not going to jump into the new cars just yet. I thought I would start off with a couple of the cool sort of live content stuff that's going on in this update. So, we've got this season's prize cars. Now, you might have actually seen a couple of videos from a couple of your favourite Top Drives YouTubers on this, who would have done some awesome videos showing off the new prize cars. But one has actually changed since then. There was a little bit of a last minute change. So, the two prize cars, Tri-Series prize cars this season will be the Pagani Huayra, is it? Do you know how to pronounce this?
Huayra?
Huayra. Yeah, you're right first time,
Yeah. So, that's the first of the two. The second, and that was stayed the same. You probably might recognise that from some videos from our excellent creators. But the second one is now the Koenigsegg, what is it again? Jesko Attack, which I think is a great name.
Yes.
Can't really see it with white background. I was like, oh man, what was it? But there you go. So those are your two Tri-Series cars to look forward to in the update. So, pretty exciting, I think. Hopefully these are going to go down pretty well. What do we think? Nice.
I think they're a great pairing.
Yes.
Oh, they're top spec of the best sort of cars, aren't they? I mean, I'm trying to remember with the Jesko, there's two versions of that, isn't there? There's the Attack and then there's another one.
Yes.
And I think the Attack is the one, I mean, considering now we're looking at a top speed there of a ridiculous amount, I think the Attack might be the one with the slower top speed. But it's better. It's quick, it's like the track version, so it's quicker everywhere else with a lower top speed, which again seems remarkable when you're looking at that says that. But yeah, so that's quite mega cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that Huayra with its Huayra, yeah. Carbon fibre bodywork. I mean.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think you get to take the car home if you own one.
Is that one of those track only? Then bring it to whatever track that you want to go to, kind of thing in real life.
Keep it in a special place for you.
Yeah.
So while charging you a lot of money.
Why did you change from the Ginetta? That would have to be a question for the team. I don't know, but we've now changed. There you go.
Yeah.
The Jesco Absolute is the straight line based version. Oh, interesting.
There we go, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolute attack, yeah.
All right, so there's your Tri-Series prize cars. Let's keep going though. A couple of other live content things coming up. We've got a new collection series for you, and we've got a little bit of art to show it off. Here we go. It's the unicorns. Yeah. I was going to say I don't know how much I can give away about this, but I think I can. Well, actually, has anyone got any guesses based on that name? What do we think this collection series is going to be based around? I have got the answer here, but I want to see if anyone can guess it based on that.
Looking forward to these answers.
Yeah.
If it's actual unicorns, then that's probably technically the right answer.
Top unicorns. Callum Cruikshank going, let's go. Oh, never mind. Ooh. Rare cars. Scottish cars. Actually, that's a great shout.
That's a really
Scottish
funny,
cars.
yeah, very good.
Yeah.
I mean, how many Scottish cars are there?
Well, I mean, we could, there's a picture there of a McLaren.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not technically Scottish, but it sounds
Yeah.
Scottish.
But most of you got it. It is going to be based around specifically very rare cars.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I haven't seen stuff specifically, but I'm assuming there'll probably be some concept cars, stuff like that in there. Maybe one off.
Well,
You know.
we were kind of on the fence about whether to include concept cars because technically they are rare by virtue of being a concept, so they kind of automatically qualify. But
Yeah.
perhaps disqualify themselves by.
By being.
Can you be
Not-
rare just by being
Yeah.
one of one?
Yeah, they're not being kind of real cars.
Yeah,
in the sense that they are
yeah,
only concepts. Yeah.
Yes.
So I believe that the criteria is to
Okay.
actually be rare rather than just be rare by virtue of never being built.
I see. Well, that should be pretty interesting. But there you go. There's a little glimpse at that collection series is coming. So that's a little bit of the live content coming. But I think, all right, who wants to see a couple of new cars? Who wants to see a couple of new cars? How badly do people
I
want
mean,
to
do
see
they
new
want to
cars?
see them, or should we just skip past them?
Because we can't skip past them. We're running. It's a tight schedule over here. We've got a lot of stuff that needs to be done. I'm waiting for the chat messages to come through.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a delay in the chat because
Yeah.
everyone's typing at once. So
All right.
we'll go with the assumption they want to see them.
We'll go with the assumption that people want to see new cars. Okay, so let's bring up our lovely pack opening video here. Here we go. Right, so I thought I messed everything up there, but I didn't. I think we've got a lot of new cars to show today. It says on the pack there we've got 27 total new cars. So a lot to talk about, a lot of cars that we picked. We're not going to spend as much time on them as we usually do because even in addition to these cars, we've got a lot of other stuff to show you. So we'll show you a couple now. Let's get started. All right. Car number one is the Master Secret Hideout, which is so interesting.
I mean, its name doesn't really merge that well with its design.
I'm going to be honest, we kind of picked a lot of these cars before the stream. I hadn't seen what this looked like yet.
It's not what you expected.
It's not what I expected.
It's
not going to. You're not going to be blending in secretly.
No, I
No.
think it's quite the opposite. But
maybe large enough for a secret hideout.
Like, quite
Yeah.
possibly. It's a very cheerful looking car, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really cool looking concept car.
yeah.
Obviously, it's not particularly quick.
Mhm.
But I think it's got decent handling for common as well.
Yeah, that's
So-
not bad actually.
And on standard tyres, I think it'll be a decent performer. Plus, I mean, it has pretty much the coolest name ever given to a car.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to make your own car, you
Mhm.
want to call it Secret Hideout.
Exactly.
So,
How long has this live stream started? Oh, don't worry, we only just started. This is the first new car that we've announced, so there you go. Looks goofy. Yeah, fair enough.
It does, yeah, it looks goofy.
it does, yeah,
That's
yeah.
the best way
But
to describe
But
it.
if you notice, it's still got that Mazda smile at the
I
front.
was going to say goofy
Yeah.
and cheerful. It's got. It's
Yeah.
like
It has
someone.
actually. You're
It's
right.
kind of, I mean, it looks a
Yeah.
bit.
Do you know when have you seen those things where people put the wrong front end on other cars? It looks like someone has put an MX-5 front end onto, I don't know, some sort of school bus.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
There you
It's
go.
basically what would happen if Mazda made an MX-5 sized MPV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would be happy.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Next new car. What do we got? It's a Holden Monaro LS HJ. What's the HJ in brackets? Do we know?
Because it's sort of the generation of that one. So so
okay.
we've occasionally with certain cars where we've got a variety of different ages of them as well, and it's kind of a little bit nerdy, but we also get we're also massive car nerds, and so it's a lot of people that play the game as well. And, you're in the right place, guys.
Yeah.
So we include occasionally sort of like the chassis code of them, so we can differentiate that between sort of a later Monaro.
Yeah, and this one, I believe, V8, it's kind of the era when they weren't making them as kind of compact in terms of muscle car, as Australian take on the muscle car, obviously. But it looks a bit land yachty.
Yeah, I'd have to check whether it's a V8, whether or not it was a straight 6 in that.
I can't remember.
Again, hopefully there's maybe someone who's more of an expert on Monaros. I wouldn't like to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I think, very. You can sort of see the 1974. It's a very 1974 looking car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All right.
Almost American.
Absolutely.
A little bit, yeah. Let's see what we got next. We've got more coming through. It's the Hyundai Casper 1.0 T. Is that TGDI? Yeah. Once again, great.
You can see why we chose it because of the name.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically an SUV that will fit in a shoebox. And they called it Casper, so I mean, it's got a great name and it's lovable, and it's got the little punchy 1 litre motor.
Yeah.
I believe you can only buy this if you live in South Korea. I don't think you can have it in any other country.
Oh, interesting.
So, unfortunately, as much as we would like them to bring it to the UK, they refuse to.
Yeah.
But I think it looks fantastic, and it's called Casper.
Longbow X of the chat there says, I wish they sold the Casper in more places.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's a tiny little SUV that's basically,
very cute.
Really cool.
Yeah. Very cute. All right, let's keep this train rolling. We've got a Mazda Demio, Mazda Speed. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, again, anything with a Mazda Speed tag on it is worthy of some sort of worthy of inclusion, worthy of talking about, because they are, it's sort of, it's the top spec of anything that that Mazda kind of do and involve. When Mazda Speed are involved, there's always something special.
Yeah.
And these are very sort of rare cars. I really don't necessarily. I don't think I'm trying to think whether we had any Mazda Speed stuff officially sold in Europe, where they were always imports.
I think ours were MPSs, and then they would have been Mazda Speed in Japan.
Okay.
And a few other select countries.
Yeah.
But this one, I think it's a standard Mazda 2, but with lots of Mazda Speed goodies.
Yeah.
Hence why it's not under Mazda Speed, it's actually a Mazda.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. So we have separated Mazda Speed.
Yeah.
So
this one would have got better handling than a regular Mazda 2, better tyres, wheels and tyres, and obviously body kit parts.
100% is a fairly good handling stat for a common.
Yeah. But I believe the Mazda 2 is quite a good handling car anyway.
It is a very good handling car, actually. Yeah.
So,
cool. All right, there we go.
On to the next.
What do we got? It's a Hyundai Scoop.
Scoop.
I mean, I have to admit, I've never heard anyone say it out loud. I always thought, and I think maybe because it was funniest, I always thought it was a Scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming over the weekend we revealed this manufacturer was going to be in the game already.
Yes,
we did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Few.
But in case you didn't know, hey, we've got Hyundai.
It's here.
Yeah.
Which, again, if you'd said that sort of maybe 10, 15 years ago, that, we're going to have Hyundai in there, I don't think anyone would really have been that excited about it. But the brand has changed, particularly for enthusiasts, so massively in the past, certainly 10 years.
Yeah.
And the level of cars that they have produced that are exciting and interesting for people like us means that Hyundai are, in fact, like a really, really cool manufacturer and really, really exciting. Particularly the end cars and the concept cars that they're doing. It's just it's terrific to sort of have them, and it's also great to have there to be another manufacturer that we can get excited about.
Yeah.
So I think these were pretty cool at the time, but this was quite unique because it's a front-wheel drive coupe.
Okay.
As opposed to most coupes that time would have had.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the early 90s. Yeah, I suppose.
I think there was some Italian stuff that kind of had similar, like the Fiat Coupe.
Fiat Coupe, but I think when you also sort of like lots of the Volkswagen stuff would have been front wheel drive, but at the same time, it's
Scirocco and stuff.
Yeah, Scirocco, and again, and Peugeots would have. But that time when the 90s was when coupes were in the 90s.
Yeah.
coupes what SUVs are today. Every manufacturer had to have their own coupe. Every manufacturer had to have, they spun a coupe off their hatchback and saloon, and they made some fantastic looking cars. And I think, although again, possibly at the time this wouldn't have been the most sort of desirable of that bunch, I think that they've always been relatively good handling. And actually, when you look back at them now and you think, oh, that's quite a nice, neat looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty good for an uncommon as well.
Yeah.
Are they excited?
We've been asked by the mystery man behind the actual Top Drives account, do we know how many cars are going to be in this update? Can we reveal that?
Some.
There you go. All right.
Lots.
Yeah, lots.
Some.
We actually, I think I can comfortably say lots.
Yeah.
It is, I believe, the most cars we've ever put in an update.
Well, if one has to brag, then one would say,
Okay.
yes, it could be.
It's the biggest Top Drives update ever. There you go. We can say it outright. Cool. All right, let's see what we got next here. I think this is car number 6 we're on. It's the Mazda RHX. That is interesting.
The Mazda HRX, yes. So this is a weird one. Obviously, it looks rather bizarre.
Mm.
It's kind of like got this sensor pod
Yeah.
with a coupe face on it. It is again a happy Mazda. If you look at the nose,
Yeah.
it's smiling, and then it's got a really weird back end on it. It's obviously a concept car, powered by hydrogen, as far as I'm aware. And they never built it, sadly, because to be fair, if you were driving one of those around the streets of Japan, I'd be quite happy.
Yeah.
I mean, plus you'd be spreading happiness as you go. But I believe it's got kind of like gull wing doors and stuff, kind of a 3-spoke wheel style, which makes it look really cool. And it handles pretty well.
Is that even a car, people are saying?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even look like it. It looks
Yeah.
like some sort of kind of combination between a car and one of those sort of moped style things with a roof.
Yeah. I think it was meant as a cleaner solution for cities that they then never bothered building.
Yeah.
So.
Nice. All right. Let's see another. Mitsubishi Mirage Camtop.
I mean, it's a convertible with flared arches.
I mean, it's the most 80s thing I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my life. It looks brilliant.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Mirage, I don't know whether, the Mirage was never really a hatchback that was particularly popular, in Europe. So I don't think I've ever seen one, or certainly they're very, very rare. But then, chopping the roof off it and, turning it into this sort of Targa type thing with a roll hoop kind of thing. What a terrific looking thing. Two-tone as well. I mean,
Yes.
The two-tone's very cool.
Two-tone box
Yeah.
arches, roll hoop,
Yeah.
blanked in front grille. It's the 80s all in a car.
And
It's
it makes
wonderful.
it to 60 in just under 10 seconds. I mean, literally just under 10 seconds. For that
Just
time.
yeah.
For that time, that's a really quick car.
Yeah, and also has it got sort of like kind of those Recaro mesh seats with the sort of like mesh in the headrest?
Yeah.
I mean, yes,
Super
everything.
cool.
That's great. All right. I think we've got. We'll have 2 more cars, and then maybe we'll take a look at what else is coming in this
Okay.
update. So, after that Mitsubishi, we've got another Mitsubishi. Pajero Field Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early 90s concept car. I mean, I'm not sure about the colour scheme.
Yeah.
And those tyres don't look beneficial to fuel economy or anything. And I suspect that's why it only does 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because it's probably got 35-inch tyres on it, which is to neuter any kind of acceleration. This thing should rule off-road, and I mean, look at it. You've got no windscreen.
No
Yeah.
windscreen.
I couldn't even work out for a second if we were looking at the front or the back of the
It's
car.
not even got real doors. It's just got a sort
Yeah.
of a thing at the back there. It's just I mean, it looks like a car that
Does
Barbie
it?
should drive.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
It does,
like
yeah.
a real car. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mm.
but what more would you want if you were just sort of going backwards, forwards to the beach in Miami?
That's
That
true,
is
actually.
what I'd want if I lived
Yeah.
that lifestyle.
I think you get a lot of sand in it though. There's
Yeah.
the holes
You
in
wouldn't.
the
The
doors.
holes in the doors, you just fall straight back out. You
Man.
brush it out.
Yeah.
All right. Very interesting. We've got some really interesting ones this time, haven't we?
Yeah.
All right, let's see one more then, and then we'll check out some other stuff coming in this update. What do we think it's going to be? It's before it, Madison.
Yeah. Another new brand to Top Drives.
Oh yeah, another new
So,
brand. Is that the world reveal right there?
No, that again crept out on social media over the weekend.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So before Madison.
Mhm.
So for anyone saying that, obviously we know that before it is a Malaysian manufacturer, but some of their early cars were produced in Australia, hence this was one of them. So this kind of has a big Morgan vibe for me, in terms of like +4, +6. I don't know how many they've sold. I've never seen one in real life, but it's basically rear-wheel drive, kind of classic-looking coupe, strong handling, decent RQ for a rear as well. I think it should be really, and it's pretty quick to 60 as well.
Yeah.
So I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, yeah, when you look at that and then go, it's 1986, there is a sort of a disconnect there. But again, that same sort of Morgan sort of way.
Yeah.
If you like that sort of stuff, then it's right up there, isn't it?
I mean, it arrived 20 years later than needed, obviously.
So. Sure. All right, so that was a couple new cars. There are still many more to come, so we'll come back to them. But in the meantime, we're going to look at some other stuff that's coming in this update, including the new store UX or UI. So I put out the community roadmap, I think it was last month now, a couple of weeks ago maybe. And I've spoken a couple of times about how this was going to be coming quite soon, the new store UI, refresh. And today, I can actually show it to you for the first time, which I'm quite excited about. So I know people have been really excited for this. Here's a little look at it here. This is a screenshot of the new store UI. So as you can see, we've now got these tabs across the top, which will divide the content in the store into different, categories, I suppose. So we've got new cars, special offers, collection series, live content packs, currency and slots. It might not be set in stone. I think we're able to change those tabs, so there'll be all sorts of stuff depending on what's relevant at the time, what we've got in the store. And then you can scroll across like that, as you can see. Oh, I put the same image twice. That's pretty funny. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, this should make it a lot easier to sort of navigate and find what you're looking for at the moment. As the amount of packs in the game and the amount of things we sell in the pack store in the game has grown, you're kind of swiping for a long, long way to get to the standard packs at the bottom. So this should just make everything a lot easier. You also, I don't think you can see it in this image, but we will be adding dividers within these tabs. So as you scroll along, I didn't put another image, did I? Or maybe I did. Oh no, we'll get to that in a second. There's basically there's going to be these kind of dividers that can subdivide within these tabs. So for example, for these Pacific Coast Highway packs, there'll be a little divider before this is Pacific Coast Highway, so you can see, okay, this is where all those packs are. Scroll past, maybe find a different car wave or collection series or something further down. So should make it much easier. I hope everyone likes to look at it. Actually, yeah, I guess no. There's a couple other things to talk about here. So once you tap into a pack, this screen is now a little bit different as well. You've now got these two tabs for content and drop rates that will show you, what to expect when you're looking at a pack. So that should make it a little bit easier to work out, what exactly you're getting before you buy a pack. So yeah, hopefully people are going to like this one quite a lot. And obviously, like we did with the Challenges UI recently, which I will have an update on coming soon. Yeah, we're eager to hear your feedback and hopefully people enjoy it. Who remembers what the store looked like 2 to 3 years ago? So much progress, that's true.
I think the tab function, tabs make everything better.
Yeah.
If you use Google Chrome, you know that.
And it looks like people have already noticed my next point here, because actually now that we've shown screenshots of the new update, it's obvious already. The Universal Home button. So we introduced this in, what was it, 19.1, 19.2 maybe? Maybe was it 19.0?
I forget.
I've forgotten.
So.
We introduced it a couple updates ago. It is helpful. It's a nice little button that takes you back to the main home screen of the game, no matter where you are. But people did have an issue where it was right next to the KT Play / Discord button. So people were hitting that button and ending up on that quite a lot. The really funny thing is, actually, I did look into some of our analytics on KT Play, and we had a big spike in KT Play users because people were accidentally pressing the button. So we understood that, a couple of you, well, quite a few of you found that pretty frustrating. So, as you can see in those screenshots, and you can see here, we've moved it over. So hopefully you won't be accidentally hitting that button anymore, which I think people are going to be quite happy about. There's a lot of thank yous. Really, really nice home button at Better Place. So pretty small update, but I think one that's going to make make people happy. And on the topic of little UI tweaks like that, wow, there's so much in this. I'm just looking at the next couple of slides. There's so many cool things we've got still. We've also got an update, like I said, on the challenges UI. So in 19.3, which we released last month now? Was it this month? That's crazy. I'm not even sure. No, it was the end of last month, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Right. We made an update to the challenges UI within the game. The idea for this was, to make these more readable, to make it easy to understand, what you're going to do in each challenge. And also, we're going to be introducing the functionality that certain challenges will be giving out multiple rewards per round. And also, you're going to be able to replay certain rounds eventually, and you'll get different rewards upon replaying them. So that kind of necessitated us to redesign that UI a little bit to make it clearer. So we put that out, and a couple of people struggled with a few things on it. So we held some feedback sessions on Discord. We listened to our players, gathered a bunch of feedback, and we've now iterated on that challenges UI and made a couple of changes, which hopefully should improve it a little bit more. So here's a look at what it looks like now. So a couple of differences that you might notice from the current one that's in game is the play around button is now moved to the bottom right down there. Nice big button. A couple of people were having issues where it was kind of up here underneath that special offer pack before, and people were finding it a bit difficult to find that button. I guess before, it used to be on each individual round. I've also made a couple other changes. For example, the rounds that you can't play now are now sort of traditionally grayed out. We had like a big red gradient on them before, which a couple of people didn't really seem to like. So we've changed that. There's a little bit more space on the screen. I think we've moved a couple of things around, so some more screen real estate. You should be able to see a bit more of the challenges. So yeah, hopefully this should make challenges even easier to navigate. And I want to say thank you again to everybody who gave us some feedback on that, because that really helped out the UI team, sort of guiding what to do next. So, there you go. What do people think? This one better. Alright, good. I'm glad people think that looks good. But again, we're always trying to iterate on this stuff, so I'd be keen to hear what people think about this new iteration on that challenges UI once the update comes out. Cool. Alright, another sort of quality of life feature next, which I think should be quite exciting for some of you. Event track set preview screen. So, in the past, before you jumped into an event or a match, you might not know what tracks you were going to be racing on. So, we're going to change that, and we've introduced an event track set preview screen, which will look something like this for an event that here is just called Wayfinders. Obviously, you can see here, it'll tell you, what track you're racing on, what weather you're dealing with, and what surface you're dealing with. Yeah, so that's pretty big. I think before you would kind of have to look on an external platform, maybe KT Play or Discord, to see if people posted the track sets. But now this is in-game. I haven't got a screenshot of it right here, but basically on an event, there's going to be a button that you can press that will just take you to this page, I think while you're selecting your cars maybe. And yeah, you'll just be able to see before you play. So I think that's a really good quality of life improvement. This should be quite helpful. Oh wow, people are happy about this. No way, wow, finally. Looks like we're going to have a good update.
So we've given them the weather.
We've given them the weather. There you go.
An accurate forecast as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a really, really exciting one, I think. Wanted this for even our mystery man on the official Top Drives account is saying I've wanted this for a long time. There you go. So yeah, good stuff. Glad people are happy about that. Let's keep this ball rolling though, because there is even more still. So this one I don't think is going to show up a huge amount over the course of the next month, but it's ready and it's going to go into the game, so we thought we'd show it off anyway. We've got a new environment for you, and that new environment is the dockyard. So we've got a couple of screenshots for you here. Looks really nice, I think. Quite unique, not really anything in the game that looks like this at the moment. Shipping containers and stuff. So yeah, I'm not sure how often you're going to see this environment pop up in track sets over the next month, but the work is finished, and soon you will see it, I think.
I think it looks really cool, especially with the parked container ship.
Yeah.
Parked, moored even. Don't park a container ship.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's a really cool looking environment.
It's got some sort of gone in 60 seconds type
Yeah.
vibes about it,
Yeah.
and it's sort of very kind of lots of car chases in those sort of in that sort of environment. It feels really cool. I like it a lot.
Why do they always end up at the docks in the car chase?
Because it looks cool, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Before we show off some new cars, we've got one more interesting quality of life or in-game tweak that we're going to talk about. And I think this is quite exciting for me. I don't know how excited people are going to find this, but it's high FPS support, high frame rate support, depending on your device. So, currently, I think the way it works is the game runs, if you've got a 60 Hz standard screen phone, the game runs at 30 FPS on your phone. If you've got a high refresh rate phone that maybe goes up to 120 FPS, it will run at 60 FPS. Now, we're basically going to make it so you can turn on high frame rate support pretty much on any device. So I think any device that runs the game should be able to run it at 60 FPS. So this is going to be a toggle option just in the settings screen. Turn it on, you can run the game at 60 FPS. Obviously, it is going to impact your battery life a little bit. It'll drain your battery a little bit quicker. But if you want to see your races nice and buttery smooth, the option is now there. And if you have a 120 FPS phone, then I mean you're off to the races quite literally. It's going to be nuts.
I think this means I need a new phone, kind of.
Don't worry.
20 FPS phone.
I've got an iPhone 13 mini. It doesn't do 120 FPS either. But yeah. Oh, people are excited about that as well. Wow.
They are excited.
Finally, 60 FPS is coming. All right. Tried my new account. It's great. Burn my battery even more. Yeah. Again, yeah. That's another thing I do want to stress. So this isn't a mandatory thing. You can just flick it on or off in the settings. So you know, if you want to keep your battery life and you don't care that much, you can turn it off.
Well, there's not a wall socket or a power bank included with this update.
Yeah. So. I have a 120 Hz phone that runs at 30 FPS. Okay, I'm not sure specifically why that's happening, but hopefully now with this, you'll be able to run it at 120 if you'd like.
Yeah.
Cool. As if my phone battery was awful enough. Cool, gonna be a huge update. Yeah, I think so. There's a lot here. But, okay, so that was a nice big slew of quality of life and in-game feature changes. So we want to see some more new cars. Let's go back to some new cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back on it. Where did we leave off? At the Bufori. All right. Any predictions for what's next? I don't know why I'm asking you guys because you know.
Well, that's right. There's enough for me to have forgotten exactly what order they're in.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It'll be a car.
Yeah, it will be a car. I will have. Well, to be honest, with the amount of weird stuff we've seen, I'm not even confident in saying it'll have 4 wheels. All right, let's go for it and see what we got. Here we go. Another Hyundai.
I mean, the Hyundai Prophecy sounds like a movie.
It does.
Yeah. So this was concept car, fully electrified. I mean, it looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as you were saying earlier, all about Hyundai and their kind of progression in terms of building cars. This is the concept car that preceded the now in production Ioniq 6.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, fully electric, looks really cool. Like, great handling as well. Not that quick, but quick enough for a rare, I think.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's keep going. It's another Mitsubishi.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. The Lancer is a sort of iconic Mitsubishi in some respects. Maybe not necessarily in this format, but that doesn't mean that it isn't. It isn't really cool. And I think we all love a wagon as well. We all love an estate car, so it's great to have customers. And what a terrific looking thing.
Nice. All right. And it's a Mazda. Is that a Mazda pickup?
Yeah. So this is basically, they've taken the Mazda SUV face and put it on a pickup truck. I think it's got decent performance for a 3-litre diesel as well. So and the handling is quite strong. I think it's comparable to like Ford Ranger and stuff like that. So
cool. All right, rattling through them. We've got a lot to show here.
Yeah.
We can't dawdle for too long. Another Mazda though.
It has to be an MX-5, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to have a Mazda update, Mazda's an update, you've got to have some MX-5s, and I think, this for me was, I know that quite possibly that there's more pure MX-5s, but if I were to buy an MX-5, which I would like to, this would be the one I'd have. I'd have the RF, I think it looks the best, one of the best handling. I think that, the later ones were utterly wonderful. I think that's just a fantastic car, and handling of 80 is, for a little car, that size is, Brilliant.
And this is the 2022 update car.
Mm.
It's slightly different suspension and like
Yeah.
pitch and yaw control, I believe it is, something like that. So it gets like tweak shocks, a
Yeah.
few other minor updates that mean it handles slightly better than the original car.
Which, yeah, they're all, but again, it has a fine balance, so they're all brilliant Hyundai, really.
And it's still smiling like every Mazda.
Yeah.
It is. He's got a big smile, actually.
Yeah.
All right. And the Hyundai.
This is one of my favourite cars.
Well, this is the sort of a gleaming example of just where Hyundai have,
Yeah.
have got to, isn't it, so far? And again, that is the end of progress. And I know, the N was started with the i30, with the i30 hatchback, and that's the first N we saw. But this, I suppose, it might not be as fast, it might not be sophisticated, but it's probably one of the most fun cars on sale of any sort.
It is brilliant to drive. I mean, it's a perfect. It's ever so slightly better than a Fiesta ST. There, how I said it.
Yeah.
Like it just only very slightly though. I think it's a brilliant car, and I think in game it's going to be a really good performer.
People seem to love that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What are we on? Car 4, 5? 5, I think. Mitsubishi EE.
EE. Oh, yeah. But I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, concept car. It looks like it belongs in a kind of post-apocalyptic war movie, possibly. It goes out to search for.
I would say with that background, it's more of like
the
a
background is a
utopian.
bit cheery.
Yeah.
It's not smiling like the Mazda. Again, strong handling, all surface tyres, multiple application car in the game, I think. And if you can work out how to pronounce it, please put some of those cards at the Hutch office in London. Yeah.
Cool. Let's keep going. That's another B40. I think the B40s are a little less popular with the chat today, but
they're an obscure car.
Yeah.
I think that, they're not. It's not a brand that has a lot of connection with many people because they are so strange and they are so kind of weird, and we've not seen many of them. And I think that's not a surprise, really. When we talk about Hyundai sort of changing their perception, within a car community, before we haven't really they're a really, really niche car brand, so they don't have the same kind of. The same kind of connection. But it being in the game and people starting to sort of like see more of them and revealing them through top drives, they might start to gain a bit more of popularity, certainly within the top drives community, which would be cool to see.
it would be.
I mean, it's a very bespoke luxury car. There's a lot of influence from other brands there.
Oh,
I see a bit of Bentley, I see a bit of older car brands.
Still a bit of Morgan, you know what I mean? That whole,
Yeah.
Absolutely. They've got, modernising with the sort of like things like the aero, Morgans and stuff like that. There's still a bit of that in there as well, but.
And it has suicide doors.
Does it? Okay, well, I mean, that's already, I'm already sold.
That's pretty cool.
Sold.
Yeah.
So,
All right. It's another Mitsubishi.
I mean, it's a pickup, but again, an L200 is sort of becoming kind of one of those. It is up there, isn't it? A little bit with the Toyota Hilux in terms of its kind of iconic status as a pickup. Well, certainly for me anyway. And and I think the slightly sort of sportier ones, the ones that are used for a bit of competition, always a bit silly, but brilliant looking things in there. But great fun to
Cool.
Great car.
I think we've got 2 more, and then it's time for our next little break. It's another Holden.
Holden HSV stand to SV08. I mean, it's the kind of top of the largest luxury car produced by HSV. Obviously V8 automatic.
Yeah.
Rear-wheel drive. Fast, and obviously luxurious and comfortable, but huge wheels on this one particularly as well. They look absolutely massive on it. But definitely strong handling, ultra air, and I mean a ballistic top speed as well.
Yeah.
I mean, and you'll be doing it in near enough silence. Well, not silence, but you know what I mean.
Well, hopefully you'll be hearing lots of V8 noises. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I think again, it's the 70s. It's the sort of the Holdens of the HSVs. They are the iconic cars from sort of Australia. They're what I think of when I think of Australian cars. And maybe not that one with those big wheels and that sort of like black two-tone bit. That's not doing it for me looks wise. But it wouldn't be a car I would want to get out of and kick out of my garage. It would be great.
All right. Let's have one more then. Another Mazda.
So, I mean, this is the turbo all-wheel drive version. So I believe it's the fastest version of the CX-50 that you can get. Obviously, it's a brand new Mazda, as in out last year. Like all Mazda's CX models, strong handling, pretty decent turn of speed as well, I think. So, and standard tyres with four-wheel drive should make it a good performer across many different parts of the game. So
Definitely.
Yeah. And I like the colour.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Khaki green.
Yeah.
So I can say the word khaki and green at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Looks good. All right. I think we've got a couple of other little things to talk about here. I mean, by couple, I think I actually just mean one. Yeah, I do. All right. But we got some bug fixes to go over. I just want to talk about these before we show you the last couple new cars that we've got for you. So, I think there was a couple that people flagged to us last time here. So, we've got the red dots on challenges issues with display for events that you can't currently play. That should be fixed now, makes it a little bit clearer. Fixed an issue with the Fusion menu would not appear for players who unlocked a duplicate legendary about fewer than 3 epic legendary cards total. Hoping that probably hasn't affected too many players in here, but still a nice little fix. Fix an issue with in-app purchases sometimes result in an error. That's a pretty standard one that a couple of people had seen recently. Stuttering and skipping over the finish line when you're fast forwarding a race should be gone now. Don't think this is going to affect too many people in here, but an issue where some areas of the game text would appear very small when the system language is set to Japanese. We do have any Japanese players in here right now. I hope you're happy with that. And also, thank you for joining our stream. It's got to be late at night over there, I think. And a fairly big one here, an issue where the RQ filter in the garage is displayed as QC in English. That was a interesting localization error we ran into, but we've now fixed it. So, not too much to worry about. Nothing huge on the bug fixes today, but you know, we're always finding stuff and fixing it. Thank you to everybody who reported these and helped us out. Yeah, all right. I think we're ready to go into our last batch of new cars. Okay. Let's get back to it. I didn't stagger those particularly well. I probably could have put some in the middle of like all the features I was talking about. But we move anyway. Let's keep going with these. All right. So after that Mazda. Oh, and we're on to the epics. Another B40.
This feels like B40 sort of being a bit more modern, doesn't it? It feels like they've kind of unleashed the shackles of their older stuff a little bit and kind of created something that's got a little bit of a sort of Viper vibe about it to me. But there's lots of inspiration for other things. But I actually think it's a really nice looking car, you know, and
it's quick as well.
It's quick, yeah.
Handling as well, and I think it's got like 330 horsepower.
Okay.
So and although it's prototype,
4.6,
I believe they are building it, and you'll be able to get different engines, including a LSV8 as well, above whatever that one is.
Nice.
So,
cool. All right. Another Mazda.
It's a Mazda CX-60 2.5 FEV all-wheel drive. And ask me how I know, because I'm actually driving that car in photo.
Oh, that's why we put this one in.
There we go.
Wait.
So, it's the biggest SUV that Mazda sell in Europe, but in America they do bigger ones. So it's a full-size SUV, great four-wheel drive system, quick, really punchy powertrain because it's got battery electric and petrol engine. So it really does get down the road well, and I think in game with four-wheel drive, and strong handling, it handles like a proper CX as well, like all their SUVs do, so it drives really well. And I particularly enjoyed driving it on that day. But it's a strong epic, I think, and it kind of compares well to its rivals from Ford.
We need to get a car and get in the weird photos of. Well.
Oh, I think I'm in quite a lot of them.
Oh, what? That's just me. All right,
yes,
we'll work that out.
We'll have to take a photo of Caleb driving a car. What car should we pick on the internet?
I'm gonna leave that
I
to
know
the
you should pick
community.
yourself because surely you're going high.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in one of them, make sure you're in something really exciting.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm driving a family SUV there.
Yeah.
So without a family, obviously.
I don't know what I'd pick. I honestly don't know off the top of my head. I'd like to see what people think I should drive. I would be interested to see. Maybe we should get a new picture of that one we got with the guy with the, is it the Holden with the guy with the suit on the outside?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think
We can retake that.
yeah.
with me in front of
Or
it.
we'll have to find a Suzuki Mighty Boy for you to drive.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So,
All right, let's keep going. Another Hyundai Iconic 5.
Yep.
There we go.
I think fantastic looking car.
Oh, I think it's like whenever I see one on the road, I sort of think I have to double check and think. Have they actually put that concept car on the road? I cannot believe that it's a production car. It looks phenomenal, and again, its proportions and its size is quite large, so it perhaps it's maybe not the most sort of like the most exotic or coolest sort of thing, but the actual sort of like detailing and styling on the outside of it looks just phenomenal. Okay, I know that means nothing in Top Drive necessarily, but you can't help but appreciate just what it looks like.
I think in this twin motor spec, because this is the biggest battery with 2 motors, so four-wheel drive. I mean, it really goes.
Yeah, 4.8
rapid.
to 60 is fast, isn't it? Maybe top speeds limited are like maybe a lot of some electric cars that we see, but yeah, I mean that'd be great.
All right. Are we on to the legendaries yet? We still got some more epics. Some more epics. Oh. Mitsubishi Lancer.
This is
Evolution.
the Lancer now that that is more iconic, isn't it? This is, the Evos are the ones that we all want to see. They're the ones that we all sort of like lust after really the most. And I think this, the FQ300 is I mean I've just got all I can see is best motoring videos of people going side trans to Cuba and stuff, and battling those sort of things. It's just it's brilliant.
And to be fair, for a 2001 model, it actually still looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's really cool.
You instantly know it's a Lancer Evolution.
Yeah.
It just has all the hallmarks.
Somebody said these guys' luck is insane. We just opened all these on the back. You're right. You're correct. Yeah. 4 epics on the back.
Yeah.
It's only going to get better, amazingly.
Yeah.
But that one's awesome though. Let's keep going. Wow. Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution again.
So in our spec, this car, I believe you could buy it to either modify it as a rally car, or you could modify it as to like tune it and put stuff on it. Hence, it came with steel wheels. Although I have to say, I'd keep the steel wheels and the standard tyres.
Oh, there's something really, really
because
cool.
it's just so cool.
And also, I mean, if again, the whole idea of buying it and then modifying it, so you could take it Group A rallying or whatever at the time would have been, Group N it probably would have been, wouldn't it? That's a road spec. It would have, would be mad, and obviously would cost you an awful lot more. And I think there's something really cool about having a really basic one, Although I think from memory that things like the brakes and stuff were probably only just the sort of like spec that you want to get away with, because they just assumed that you'd get the car, immediately take all of them off and scrap them and put something bigger on. But I mean, if any proper RSs still exist unmodified, that'd be quite a rare car. But
I think you didn't get air conditioning with this.
Yeah,
and you have to wind down the windows yourself.
Brilliant.
It has like no paint on the wing mirrors and all
yeah.
So and some didn't even get the rear spoiler if you didn't want that.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised there was even paint on the bumpers and things like that as well. I think that some of the time when they did those cars, some Japanese manufacturers would absolutely just you'd have unpainted bumpers and things just because they knew that you were going to get it and immediately scrap them for the proper motorsport spec ones.
Yeah. So if anyone out there has one, please put it in a box and address it to Central London attention of me. Thank you.
Please move the back button between the Discord and home button. It's really annoying. I've got some good news for you. Well, actually, I think the back button is staying where it is, but the home button is now moved. So, hopefully that works. Another Lancer that looks very, very cool. Let's see what we got next. Ooh. That's the RX version.
Concept car. That I believe has featured in other titles.
Yes.
But super quick. Rotary powered. I'm gonna
envisage. Good. I think it was RX would sort of suggest that maybe that was
And it's got that Mazda design language, but it's like instead of making a 4-door saloon that you can ferry your children around, they've made this stunning.
Was this the first car that really previewed that design language? I've forgotten what they called it. Is it Kado, something. I can't remember. I might have said something really offensive there in a different language. So I'm really sorry if I have. But yeah, I think one of the sort of again look at the way that sort of you can see the kind of shape on the side.
Yeah.
That actually those kind of lines and stuff appear. They've managed to translate that to their actual production cars, whether it be an SUV or a saloon car or a hatchback. I mean, the Mazda 3 hatchback is basically like that, but is in a slightly different proportions. I mean, it's quite remarkable, really.
Although that doesn't do 170.
It does not do 170. No, this is the one you'd want if you could. Yeah.
Super cool.
Cool. All right, I think we've got one more car.
It's going to be last.
Oh no, it's two more cars.
Two more cars.
All right. There we go.
So Hyundai Genesis PM 580T, Pikes Peak car. Clearly because it's parked on Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
I think, was it driven by Reese Millen? I can't remember now.
He is Mr. Pikes Peak, isn't he?
Yeah, so obviously super quick, but short top speed because it's meant for one thing, and that's going up Pikes Peak hill climb. It's probably the only thing it was ever built for. I'm not even sure the headlights are real. I think the headlights might be stickers. I can't really remember on this particular car. But yeah, super quick. Obviously a really good legendary, apart from perhaps the top speed being a bit short.
All right, cool. One more then. Quadruple legendary small pack. Whoa, a Brabham.
I mean, it's a Brabham BT62R in full Darth Vader spec. Yeah, I mean, this thing is obviously insane. I'm aware that it is super quick. Top, kind of borderline supercar, hypercar kind of handling. As in, it's kind of a match for sort of any of its peers within that kind of 720S Ferrari 488 kind of gap in the market. Well, I say gap in the market. That section of the market where everything's quick, but this is super quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it looks fantastic. I mean, it just
looks so cool.
Full of angles and like slashes, and everything's functional in terms of keeping it pinned to the ground while you go around a corner at 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because you can, obviously.
But yeah, so cool. There you go. So that is the last car we've got to show for you guys today. But that is genuinely only a tiny slice of what's coming in the update. There is a lot of there's a lot of cars in this update, pretty much. Yeah.
All of the cars.
Well, we wouldn't have many plans for future updates.
No, that's true. All the cars.
Yeah, we've completed it.
Yeah.
Most of the cars. Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. Let us know what your favourite car from that was. So, what's next? So people are going to be asking, when's the update coming out? Are we ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Soon. But in the meantime, you do have a couple of little things to look forward to. The full patch notes and car corrections will be out shortly after this stream. Full new car list will come out on the day of the update launch. So stick around, take a look at that. I don't really think we're revealing anything in those patch notes that we haven't revealed here, but it'll be a nice little summary of everything we talked about. So yeah, look out for that in a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the stream. We've got a couple minutes here to take some really rapid fire questions, but we've probably only got time for 2 or 3, I would imagine. Toyota. Here we go. So it's the same.
I mean,
yeah,
but at the same time, you're going to be happy with this update. Not only is there sort of the actual sort of car manufacturers that are there, that sort of the cars that have come in that list as well. With Hyundai and Mitsubishi, obviously they produce some. Now Hyundai and produce some really great cars. There's cars that we all love.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of cars that people are going to be really pleased with, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Tons of new cars, tons of new quality of life features, and just new features in general. It's a really big update. Will there be a new campaign? Not with this update. Google released beta Google Play games for Windows PC. Can't find top drives on it. Is it possible to add? No, but I have been asked to gently poll people actually, and this is by no means a confirmation of absolutely anything, but I've been asked to gently ask if there would be interest in people playing top drives on PC. Would that be something people want to play?
PC and or other platforms?
I think we're just talking PC for now. Maybe even specifically on Steam, I've heard. And again, we're testing the waters here. Yeah. This is not a confirmation of anything whatsoever. But I've been asked to put the button on that one. So let me know what you guys would think of that.
As in, if you could, Would you?
Yes,
So-
pretty much. Can you please make a Discord so we can talk to each other? I've got great news for you. we have a Discord. It's I think just top drives. Yeah, discord.gg/top drives. So yeah, please do jump in there and have a chat to us. Could you update the black and white pictures to be coloured? Well, we're always trying to get the best pictures we possibly can. Last couple updates, we've introduced a host of photo changes. Haven't got any for this update, but we will continue to make some in the future, I'm sure.
Yeah, we are looking into colorisation of photos, but it is difficult to kind of pull off, and obviously it raises certain copyright issues potentially.
Yeah.
So, but we will keep trying.
Yeah, whenever we've got colour photos, we'll always use them if we can do. And again, same with when we've got selection photos. Obviously, some of the older cars, there just isn't a variety of photos that we can choose from. So sometimes we have to settle for what we've got, but most of the time we get some really good stuff.
It's because the world was literally being...
It was all black and white.
Yeah,
That's true.
So,
Any hidden brands you haven't shown? Not sure.
pass.
Pass. Yeah.
Pass.
So we got, it would be amazing on Steam. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Again, no, by no means a confirmation of anything like that happening, but interesting. Are you going to add any other languages? Not sure. I think the localization we've got in the game, I haven't heard anything about that at the moment, but if we have got players in languages that aren't supported, I'd be curious to hear what those are.
Yeah, because current localization is pretty comprehensive, I believe.
Yeah. In my opinion, for prize car, change the car sound makes it different to other legendaries. Yeah, we've had a lot of discussions about car sounds in game and everything at the moment. It would be a really cool feature to add. Unfortunately, a lot of players play the game, you know, without the sound on, and also if we wanted to start adding sort of specific sounds for cars, there's a lot of work to go into it. Not saying it wouldn't be a great idea, but there's generally other things that are taking precedence.
Yeah, it's something we're always thinking about.
Yeah.
I think also from our point of view as well, sort of being the car people on the game as well, is making sure that whatever, if we do change it and we do start adding that they are as sort of accurate as possible as well, which is something that would be that would sort of add another complication, because we're all really really nerdy about that. If it was going to sound like something, we really want it to sound like something, something proper. So yeah.
Major props for making an awesome game. Thanks, guys. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we're just about out of time, so I think we should probably wrap things up here.
Yeah.
But thank you everybody for tuning in, and I really hope you saw some cars that you liked and you're excited for the update. Again, stay tuned on our social media and our Discord, which I mentioned earlier. Again, that was discord.gg/topdrives. You can find all the latest news. You'll know as soon as the update drops, which will be soon, as we said.
Soon.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So thank you everybody.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.